Carthage did not fall in battle. It was not defeated in a single charge. It was not spared. It was not even allowed to exist. Carthage was erased. Rome did not come to conquer. Rome came to make sure nothing remained. By the end of 1 week, a city that had ruled the Mediterranean for centuries was gone. Its people dead or enslaved. Its streets buried beneath ash and rubble. This was not war. This was a decision. And once Rome made it, there was no turning back. For centuries, Carthage stood as Rome's great rival. A sprawling trading empire, a formidable naval power. It was rich, organized, and utterly unafraid. Carthage ruled the western Mediterranean, its fleets dominated the seas, and its merchants shaped economies across continents. Rome and Carthage fought 3 monumental wars. The first shattered Carthage's navy. The second, led by the brilliant General Hannibal, nearly destroyed Rome itself. He crossed the Alps with his army and elephants, marching deep into Italy. Roman armies were annihilated at the Battle of Cannae in one of their greatest defeats. Rome survived, but it never, ever forgot the fear. By the time of the Third Punic War, Carthage was a shadow of its former self. It had no empire, no navy, and barely an army. But it was still standing. And to Rome, that was simply unacceptable. Some enemies are too dangerous to be left alive, even in memory. Rome didn't rush Carthage. Instead, it surrounded it. Legions sealed the city from land and sea. No food could get in. No one could escape. Inside the walls, panic spread like a quiet disease. Grain disappeared. Water ran low. Hope thinned with each passing day. The people of Carthage showed incredible resilience. They tore down their own homes to build weapons. Gold and silver were melted into blades. Women famously cut their long hair to make bowstrings. Even children were armed, and old men were sent to defend the walls. For month after agonizing month, Rome simply watched. The city starved. But Carthage refused to surrender. And so, Rome decided it was time to finish this forever. The walls would fall, and nothing inside would survive. In the year 146 BCE, Roman soldiers finally broke through the defenses. What followed was 6 days of pure annihilation. They fought street by street, house by house, floor by floor. The Carthaginians fought from rooftops, from windows, from collapsing buildings, making the invaders pay for every inch of ground. Roman soldiers advanced slowly, methodically. They killed everything that moved. Fires raged without control, turning day into an apocalyptic night. The screams of the dying echoed through the stone corridors. The last defenders retreated to the Biasa, the inner citadel. It was their last refuge, their final stand. When Rome finally broke through its gates, all resistance collapsed. Men were slaughtered where they stood. Women and children were dragged away and chained. Of a population of hundreds of thousands, only 50,000 survivors remained. They were marched away into slavery. The rest were dead. Carthage finally went silent. But Rome was not finished. Silence was not enough. The Roman Senate ordered the city to be destroyed completely. Buildings were pulled down, stone by stone. The mighty walls were leveled. The great harbors were filled in. Nothing was left standing. The land itself was cursed. A later legend claims that the Romans sowed the fields with salt to ensure nothing would ever grow there again. Whether that's historically true or not, the message was clear. Carthage was to be removed from the map, its name erased, its culture scattered in chains across the empire. Rome now stood alone, unchallenged, unopposed, and terrified of ever facing another rival. Victory had turned into paranoia. The fall of Carthage wasn't about strength. It was about fear. Rome didn't destroy Carthage because it was a present danger. Rome destroyed Carthage because it remembered what it felt like to almost lose. It chose erasure over mercy, annihilation over peace, silence over rivalry. Carthage was not conquered. It was deleted. And in doing so, Rome taught the world a terrifying lesson that still echoes today. When absolute power is afraid, it does not negotiate. It eliminates.